Coming up next, I'm going to tell you why networking could destroy your career, and we're going to take a look into the future. What is work going to look like in 2030? Doesn't look too great. And, of course, we take your calls, and it all starts right now. All right, folks, welcome to the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you with us. We're coming to you live from our Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville. And we are here to talk about you, specifically what you were born to do. Now, I know that millions upon millions upon millions of people don't think that work is anything more than just a job. Work feels like a four-letter word. We talk about it like it's a four-letter word, and we feel like, well, it's just about my paycheck. But what if you were actually created to work, to make a contribution to the world through your work? And what if you could make the money that you want and have meaning in your work, income and impact? Would you think that that might change your outlook on Monday mornings? Something to ponder. I believe all that is true. I believe there's a unique role that you were created to fill in your work. That means you were tremendously needed, valuable, but it also means you must do it. And I also think there's more than one dream job. I think there's more than one career path, more than one job that allows you to be in your sweet spot where you are using your talent to perform your passion, to produce your mission. Talent, what you do best. Passion, work you love to do. Mission, results that matter to you. When those three are in alignment, you're in your sweet spot. And people look at you and say, you were born to do this. And you have tremendous meaning and fulfillment in your work. You're working on purpose. And as a result, you're living on purpose. That's why we do the show. So welcome aboard. You can jump in on the conversation. No show like it, where you can interact right now. You can interact live on YouTube. If you're watching later, which is not 12:02 Eastern Standard Time, well, you have to join us live every day, Monday through Friday, 12 Eastern Standard Time. But if you're watching live, you can also call in 844-747-2577. If you're watching later and you want to call in, again, 12 Eastern Standard Time, give us a call on that toll-free number, 844-747-2577. I'm your coach, counselor, and cheerleader, all in one phone call. I'm here for you because you matter. All right, but let's get right to it. We love to open up each show by teaching you something that you can practically put into place so that you can move forward. Today, I want to talk about networking. Everybody understands what networking means. It's like, hey, I got to get out there and I got to meet people. But what if the way that most people network and the way that we traditionally see networking could actually harm your career? Because I think it can. And so I want to take on the traditional networking idea where I go to a big group of people and I'm working my way around the room trying to figure out who can help me. And there's something that just feels gross about that. Now, I know extroverts enjoy this obviously more than introverts. But whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, those networking events where you're cold, kind of going into all that, it just never feels good. And so for us extroverts, I think we need to rip a page out of the life manual from introverts. Introverts hate those events. They try not to go to those things. And even if they go to them, they're not interested in engaging. It's exhausting to them. What introverts do very well is the one-to-one connection. And so I think we got to get away from traditional networking where you put yourself out there and it's like speed dating and it's almost impossible not to come across as a little bit gross. However, if we're connecting one-on-one, and you could do this at one of those networking events, dive deep with one or two people only. Pull them aside. Be interested in them. Ask them for knowledge. Ask them maybe for some wisdom if you're considering something, if you're in the same career boat. Ask them for knowledge and wisdom, right? But this idea of trying to meet as many people as you can, as fast as you can, and asking for something and doing it with a really nice tone and with a big old smile, it still feels gross. I'm telling you to stop networking and start connecting. Stop networking and start connecting. You understand what I'm doing here, but I'm trying to drive a point home. If I begin to connect, it's one-on-one, coffees, lunches, Zoom calls, and I'm there with a pencil and a piece of paper, a notepad, and I'm asking questions. I'm getting knowledge. I get some wisdom. What's the difference? So the knowledge is, hey, I'm looking to move into this nursing career, this side of things. You're a nurse. How did you do it? What do you think is the best path? Whatever it is. This is knowledge. Okay, who do they know? What places do they recommend I go to? That's what we're looking for. Answers, knowledge. Then if I'm considering some directional changes, or I'm going, well, I'm at a fork in the road. I'm considering this program, and this program. This offers this, is of this. What's your opinion here? Now, this wisdom. They're weighing in on some decisions you've got in front of you. Knowledge and wisdom. That's what you're looking for. You're grateful. You're humble. You don't know it all. You want to learn from them, and you make them feel valuable. And in doing so, you provide value to them. You're not a taker. You are a giver there. Yes, you are getting something from them, but it doesn't feel like I'm taking. Someone goes, well, I really enjoyed that experience. Ken showed up willing to learn. He was super humble and couldn't say thank you enough. Made the most of my time, had prepared questions ready to go, asked me follow-up questions. He felt like a human sponge in front of me. I enjoyed that. That's what we're talking about. That's connecting. See, networking is surface level. You know what it is? It's relationship vampires. That's what it is. I come along, I bite you on the side of the neck, suck whatever I think I need out of you or want out of you, and then I move on to the next victim. Don't be a relationship vampire. Be a connector, not a networker. Because remember, what I just described a moment ago, it's not just the one-on-one strategy that does yield so much more depth, so much more width. I mean, just deep and wide, it's good. But you know what else? There's a real connection. And don't miss what I'm saying. Connecting is the one-on-one, but the connection, they walk away from that meeting going, I like Ken. I like him. It's a good guy, good heart. Want to help him. Going to be thinking of him when something pops up. Get a good connection there. Because I'm not just there pulling stuff from them and asking them stuff. I ask about them. I ask about their family. It's a personal conversation that will also yield knowledge and wisdom. It's a true, I walk away. A nice connection there. Can call them back. They'll call me. Watch things develop. Watch your opportunities. Watch your network grow exponentially when you become a connector, not a networker. That's gold, I'm telling you. Rewind it. Watch it again and take notes. Rewind it. Share it right now. Share this with somebody out there who's struggling to make connections and have them watch those few minutes. I'm telling you, it's the game changer. Introverts can do it as well as extroverts. All right, 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. I want to do a quick thing. I don't do this enough. I want to just wave at our YouTube audience that's watching live. We have some folks that are watching live here on the channel, and I just want to say hello to you all. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're getting some work done while you're listening in. But if you're going to play hooky at work, playing it, watching the Ken Coleman Show is excused. I need some excuse notes, Joe, that I can write to people and send it to their leader. Well, you're a crappy leader, sir, and so they're watching my show to get out from underneath your crappy leadership. No, that's terrible. I shouldn't say that at all. We don't know if they're a crappy leader. They could be. You never know. But hello, YouTube Live. Appreciate y'all so much. While you're watching, give us a thumbs up and hit that share button. Send a link to somebody you think would be encouraged or equipped by watching the program. And if you haven't subscribed, do that as well. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to the phones. Beautiful San Diego, California, one of my favorite places to visit. Aaron is joining us on the line in that area. Aaron, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. I'm a longtime Ramsey listener and fairly new to your show, but really do love it. So thanks so much for taking my call.
Well, thank you, sir, for spending some of your valuable time over here. I appreciate it. How can I help?
Well, my question, sir, and I'm going to try not to be a vampire like you just described there, but
you can't. You're a nice guy. I can tell.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. The concise version of my question is this the best time to move into my dream job? A little bit of background. I got clear probably about 5 years ago about the direction that I wanted to go in terms of a career. I do really well with public speaking, have an affinity for languages, and so went into studying linguistics and translation and interpretation, went and got a degree and everything for that. I'm currently working in a different industry. I was working kind of on the insurance sector while I was going to school, and first job I got just right out of college was just a full-time position within that field. Wanting to make a change and get into my career field, I guess dream career field, getting into interpretation. But it's been probably about 2 years since I graduated, so I've gotten clear, I've got qualified, but hit a little bit of a snag along the way.
What is the snag?
So the snag is right around the time that I was graduating from school, I got arrested and convicted of a crime. It's not a felony; it's a misdemeanor, so I can get it off my record here in about a year.
Okay.
But I'm in a position right now with my job where just really looking to make a move out of my job. I'm overwhelmed at work, and
so why aren't you moving on? Is it because you're afraid the misdemeanor is going to show up in the process and it's going to sabotage the path to the dream?
That's it, Ken.
Do we know that for sure? I don't think that you're wrong, but do we know that for sure?
So I've applied for a couple of jobs in the meantime, just really kind of testing the waters. Things like
did it come up?
It did, yeah.
So here's what we know. Bottom line is there's a strong chance that it is going to keep coming up and it is going to disqualify you. People are just going to go, I don't know. Right?
Right.
So 1 year from now, what has to be true for that to come off of your record? Is it just a function of after a series of years it comes off, or do you have to do something? What happens?
So I'll be off probation in a year. Once I finish probation, I'll qualify for an expungement, and I can get it off my record that way.
Okay. So feels like to me that we got to wait. Sucks.
Okay.
But unless I'm missing something, if I'm you, I'm not going to keep putting myself out there for good opportunities only to have them slammed shut in your face because of something that is within a year or a year from now is going to be wiped off and it's never going to show up again. True or false?
True.
So it won't show up. Once it's expunged, it's gone. True?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm not giving myself the best chance. So while you're a bit overwhelmed right now, you either stay put and you just tough it out and figure out a way to, through exercise, hobbies, counseling, whatever, man. I'm not in any way minimizing the stress that you're going through now, but you either figure out a way to get through it and mitigate it, or you go get another day job. But the problem with that is trying to go to another day job, this misdemeanor is going to pop up again.
Sure.
So how bad is it right now? Is it something that you just mentally and emotionally at the end of your rope?
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. It's just it's a really overwhelming job as it is, and then we're on top of that pretty severely understaffed, and so it feels like I'm jumping into a pool every day and drowning for 8 hours, and then getting out and doing it again the next day.
How much money do you make?
About $70,000.
Okay. Unless I'm missing something, it's going to be really hard to get another day job replacing that $70,000 because of your misdemeanor, right?
Right.
So to me, unless I'm missing something, your only option is you're going to have to figure out a way that when 8 hours is done, you've got a way of decompressing, whether it's exercise, friends and family, you distract yourself from that, you recharge to the best of your ability, and you come back into the fight the next day. And then over the weekend, you're going to have to make sure that you just really recharge. I don't see any other way. Is that why you called me?
That's why I called.
I just don't see any other way, because I think for you to keep pursuing opportunities, you know what I mean? There's only so many interpreting opportunities, and for you to run through a few more, it's a long shot right now that somebody's going to look at that misdemeanor and go, no big deal. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, let me tell you, if there's one way to beat it, and this is not going through the traditional application process, but if there's one way to beat this, it is the proximity principle. Get around people that are doing what you want to do. Get in places where that's happening and begin to meet people. And when they meet you, the first thing they hear from you is not, I'm looking for a job here. You just say, hey, I eventually want to get into this work, and so I wanted to get around professionals that are winning this area and learn about it. And they get to know you and they like you. And then, or that's one way. And then they may open up a door because they go, he's a really good dude. And he did this one stupid thing, and it's going to be off of his record in a year. He's already moving into that process of expungement. So that's one way. The other way, same strategy, is relationships and friends through the proximity principle where, before applying, let's say somebody, friend or family or acquaintance, well enough to where they would go to somebody and go, hey, I got somebody that I think is great over here, world-class guy, I would love for you to meet him. Not an official interview, but just meet him. And they get to know you and they like you, but then you're still running the risk of kind of going, here's the one thing, this is going to show up, but it's going to be gone in a year. And I, would invite you to get to know me better. That's the only way to get around it. And otherwise, most people are going to see that spot and they're going to go, I'm not interested in that, which is what you've experienced so far. Make sense?
Sure, yeah.
So I think what's before you. If it were me, I would figure out a way to get through the next 12 months, and I know you can, and I would have the dream on my mind, and I'm willing to put up with this. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and this is part of it. And learn from this, which I know you have, put it behind you, and expungement happens, and then boom, we're walking with our head high, and we're walking forward. Let's go to Christina next in Ocala, Florida. Christina, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How you doing?
I'm living the dream, Christina. What are you doing?
Oh, trying to figure mine out.
Okay, all right. Let me see if I can help. What's up?
Okay. Well, I have a doctorate degree, and while I was getting that degree, teaching in higher education kind of fell in my lap. And I've been doing that ever since. That was never what I wanted to do. I don't necessarily enjoy it. And I'm trying to figure out how to translate those skills into something usable elsewhere. And I just kind of keep running into that, well, you're just a teacher.
Yeah, well.
But I've done a lot of things while teaching. I've, researched, published, all those things.
Okay, let's stay right there.
I have all the skills in my education, but I can't seem to translate that to get an interview in anything but teaching.
Well, that's all you, by the way. So we're going to admit that, and then we're going to go through an exercise. But first, we've got to admit that you're the one who's limiting you to education jobs. You.
Probably, yes.
Oh, I know. That's exactly what's happening. No one else is going. Thank you, Christina, but your doctorate in education is completely worthless, and
it's
you have
not
no
even
skills.
in education.
Oh, well, good. Okay, great.
It's in business and marketing.
Okay, great. So let's just, in fact, you know what? I'm going to go a different direction because you just blurted that out. What direction did you want to go in that attached the doctorate to it? Because you didn't just get a doctorate in business and marketing. You didn't just do that. Am I right?
No.
What direction did you want to go in?
Well, initially, I love marketing and studying consumer behavior and trying to figure all that out. And I spent my entire doctoral study, studying how loyalty programs affect people. And, I like to figure out how people react to different, marketing strategies. And
Great.
I just always loved that.
Great. So you have a doctorate. So you have a doctorate in that. Okay.
Yeah.
And where's the doctorate from?
Walden University.
Okay, great. Nobody cares, by the way, where it's from. But I asked that because it's like I want you to get your spine straightened out. Your shoulders have been sagging for way too long, sagging under the weight of doing work that you don't love, sagging under the guilt. And I literally believe you feel guilty. You've done nothing wrong, but I think you're dragging a lot of guilt around on your shoulders that you fell into education and now you feel like you trapped yourself. And your shoulders.
Oh, absolutely.
I know. I can hear it all over you. Your shoulders are sagging. I want those shoulders to go back. Are you sitting down or standing up right now?
I am pacing in my office.
Okay, great. I want you to stop pacing for just 1 second. All right? You doing that? You stop?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to get your feet shoulder width apart, and I want you to take your shoulders, and I know this seems really weird, but we're doing this on purpose. I want you to just pull those shoulders back and stand up as straight as possible and see if you can get those shoulders back and your chin up. You got that going on right now?
Yes, I promise.
All right, now I want you to hear what I'm about to say. Christina,
Okay.
you have unbelievable skills that you had before you went into higher ed and that you've developed since you've been in higher ed. Number 2, you have incredible experience that you got in that doctorate program before you went into higher ed, and experience in higher ed that has shaped you and makes you incredibly valuable in a marketing, research, analytic role. Now you can drop your shoulders and get comfortable and start pacing again. Okay? All right, now let's just do a quick exercise. I want you to tell me the experience. Forget trying to sell me. It's just you and me. Let's forget the audience. Let's forget anybody. I want you to tell me what you think your most valuable professional experiences. Let's assume you and I met at a professional function and I was getting to know you and I go, oh, tell me about your experience. And you go, okay, I want to put my best foot forward with Ken and I'm going to tell him what I think my most valuable experience is right now, professional experience. Give it to me.
Probably time management and getting a lot of things done under a crunch that most people didn't think could get done.
Okay. What else?
Oh, I'm not good at complimenting myself.
Well, I know, but you're not complimenting me. You're telling me about your experience. You didn't say you were good, so get that out of your head. What's your top level experience right now? You had experience doing this, a lot of this. What is it?
I'm really good at researching.
So
I'm really good at taking all of that research and putting it into an action plan that can be used.
Okay, good. Anything else?
I'm very detail-oriented.
Okay.
I'm really good with a list. I am good at helping my students work through problems where they think they're going to kill each other and walking them back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That I love. What would we call that? What's that? Give me one word to describe helping my students work through their problems. What would you call that? Give me one word to describe it.
Would be leadership.
Thank you very much. Okay, now let me repeat back to you what you just told me. This is your top experience. This is what you've got a lot of experience doing. Managing time crunches, getting crap done under limitations. Stop me if I start to say anything wrong. Researching, digging, right? Probably a fair amount of analyzing in that researching as well. True or false?
Yeah, true.
Okay, great. Because you forgot to mention that, and I just know that's part of it. Creating a path forward, action plans based on research and analysis. Very detail-oriented, got a lot of experience managing details, organizing details, and then finally leading. Now, I ask you, that's your experience. I would also assume that even though you have a hard time complimenting yourself, you would say you're pretty darn good at those things as well, correct?
Yes.
So there's your list.
I would be lying if I said I wasn't.
I know. There's your list. Now ask yourself, are those skills and experiences, skill and experience, are those transferable outside of higher education? Yes or no?
Yes.
Unbelievably so. So this is all a narrative problem. William James is considered by many the father of modern psychology, Christine, and he once said, no matter how absurd something is, if it is repeated often enough, people will believe it. And you've been telling yourself for a very long time, absurdly so, that you have nothing at all to offer anybody outside of higher education, and that's a big bunch of crap, and you know it. Now, what do? What we do is we begin to identify the marketing type of jobs, marketing analysis and research, where you dive into a focus group, an audience base, and you figure out what their problem is, how we solve it, and the solution for it. And you do that from a marketing standpoint. And there's all kinds of opportunities of it. So we begin to identify those type of gigs, where they are, what qualifications are needed. Well, you've already got a doctorate, so that you don't need any more education. Do you need a certification or a class or two, maybe that just kind of make you a little bit more current? Maybe. At most. That's not a lot of time or money. Are you still with me, Christina?
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Yes, you can get an amen.
All right. So it's not a whole lot. You're in stage 1. Get clear. Now it's about getting qualified. I don't think there's a whole lot to do. But what I do think it is, it's all about getting connected, stage 3. I'm going to give you my number 1 best-selling book entitled The Proximity Principle. Do you have it already?
No,
you don't.
I did order your new book.
Well, thank you very much. And we cover the proximity principle in stage 3, Get Connected. But I'm going to go ahead and give you this book because it's out now, and it really is all about connections for you right now.
Okay.
And so I want you to hang on the line. You tell Amanda what format you want, ebook, audiobook, or hard copy. And I want you to read it and do it because this is all about Get Connected. That's the stage you're in right now. And that's going to bring opportunities to you for you to cross over from education into the marketing field. You got this. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
All right. Hang on the line. The manual is coming your way. Oh, I love it. You know, what we just did with Christina, folks, is we just allowed her to self-assess. And Christina needed to hear herself identify that she had experience and skill that is valuable and transferable. There was nothing mind reading, soul reading, nothing. I didn't do diddly squat right there, and I want you to grab that. Now, I'm happy to do that, what I did for you, if you call me, but I want you to really grab this, because here's what I know about this show and any call-in show. A fraction of the people that are watching and listening call in. So a lot of you are scared to death to call in, and I get it. You don't need to be scared. I really want you to call in, but I get it. You won't. And so I really want to just drive this point home. What we just did with that precious lady is allow her to see herself the way the rest of the world sees her. You have experience and you have skill. And sometimes it takes little to nothing other than awareness to be able to move and pivot to something else. Sometimes it will take a level of education in that second stage, get qualified. But here's a lady that just needed to get clear, not on what she wanted to do, she knew, but get clear that she could do it. And she's going to step into stage 2, get qualified, and just make sure, is there anything I can do here that'll make me more qualified? And then she's fully moving into stage 3, Get Connected. And she's getting connected. And the proximity principle is still the most powerful connection principle that is out there. It's simple. In order to do what I want to do, fill in the blank, I've got to be around people that are doing it and in places where it is happening. And as she gets connected, which is all stage 3, get connected, get connected, get connected, get around those people, get in those places, guess what happens? Opportunities will walk up to her, knock on the door. Hello, I'm opportunity. This idea, this notion that we've got to kick doors down all the time has been romanticized, and it's really not how it works. I found that, Joe, when I try to kick the door down, there's somebody on the other side of that. I hurt them. And I look like the big you-know-what hole, right? I mean, it's just the reality. It's like, hey, you just hurt somebody, you jerk. You kicked the door down. Let's just kind of realize that it doesn't take all this bravado. What it takes is intentionality. Now, speaking of getting connected, I always want to bring you more tools to get connected, and that's why I partner with ZipRecruiter, the number 1 job site in the United States. Their candidates 3 times as likely to get hired. Why? Oh my gosh, they've just figured it out. Their technology is amazing. One click, fill out a profile at ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Go there so they know that you're listening and that you're jumping in here. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Fill out a profile, click. They begin to become your recruiter. They've got tons of companies that are paying them for access to you, the talent. So it's free to you. It doesn't cost you a nickel. They begin to pitch you and your profile to companies that have jobs that match up with you. You get updates, thumbs up when somebody likes your profile, when they ask for your contact information, because ZipRecruiter allows them to contact you directly. Listen, folks, you get updates. It's not crickets, and you get results. You're going to get eyeballs. So I don't know why you wouldn't be using ZipRecruiter.com/Ken as an extra tool in your tool belt, one of the best tools you could possibly use to get hired. Go today, ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. All right, quick break. We'll be back before you know it to give you some really good news and a fun special announcement. Don't move. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Hey folks, Ken Coleman with you. If you've ever had to look for a job, you know it's stressful. Combing through job openings and feeling lost in the shuffle. ZipRecruiter knows that the general experience of looking for a job is pretty sucky. That's why they figured out a way to make it unsucky. When you sign up on ZipRecruiter.com, you can create a free profile. Then you get matched to great jobs, plus a lot more. Go to ZipRecruiter.com right now to sign up, absolutely free, and put ZipRecruiter to work for you.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you discover what you were born to do. We help you make money and experience and feel great meaning in your work. Money and meaning, income, impact. That's what we do here. We want you to be your best. We help you figure out your purpose in your work and then achieve peak performance. That's what this show is about. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Hey, quick announcement. Ramsey Solutions, of which I am a part of. It's the mothership. We've got a great free live stream event tonight that I think you should consider. I think you should sign up for it because you're watching this show because you want to work on purpose. You want to be on purpose. You want to max out. You want to make more money. You want to make more of a difference. You want more. And your money game is a big part of this. It allows you so much more opportunity. The free live stream is happening tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. Dave Ramsey, Christy Wright, and George Camel, all Ramsey personalities, coming to you on the stage. There are the details on the screen. Tonight, 7 p.m. Central. If you want to be a part of it, it is free. Text the word game plan, all one word, no space. Text game plan to 33789. That's game plan. Text it to 33789. And while you're thinking about special offers, don't forget, Nathan, let's show them the brand new book, which is, people ask me about the proximity principle. How's it different? Well, the proximity principle was a deep dive on one core principle that is a part of stage 3, get connected. The 7 stages are get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. Those 7 stages, that's how you discover who you are, what you were created to do. Oh, there it is right there on the screen. That is awesome. Thank you, Nathan, very, very much. There's the visual. And those 7 stages will get you in a place where it really is the dream job and you are working for impact. The income's there. You got plenty of income. Now it's all about impact. And so the new book is From Paycheck to Purpose. Yes, we want you to have a great paycheck, but we also want you to experience purpose in your work because you spend so much of your time at work in your life. The clear path to doing work you love. Look at that mug. Boy, they just dressed me up big time. I promise you, if you meet me in person, there's no way that I look that good. And so I just want to go ahead and prepare you to be disappointed. But the new book is available for pre-order, and we'd love to go high on the bestseller list. Number 1 would be great. Doesn't have to. We just want to get out there. People paying attention to it that don't know me, don't know the show, and they buy this important book because the message resonates with them rather. So if you go to kencoleman.com, there's tons of bonus items. When you pre-order for only $20, you get the ebook, the audiobook, plus a whole bunch more. You can also get for $30 the book for $20 and the new assessment, Get Clear career assessment, which will actually tell you what you're talented at, your top talents, your top passions, work you love, and your primary mission, the results that you get jazzed about creating. Puts it in a purpose statement for you and shows you where you can go to do that work, gives you ideas to get you started. Then you can call the show with your results and we'll dive deep. So that's a $30 bundle. So go get that, kencoleman.com. All right, it is time. I am always trying to help you people. And so we bring you in the news. Okay, headline from Ladders. I've contributed to this website, great website. Headline is, this is what work will look like in 2030. And they say it isn't pretty. I don't know. I don't know if we can jump that far ahead, but there's some really interesting stuff in the article. New data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and these are projections. So one of the things I want to caution you folks, even when I bring you a headline, just because it's a headline does not mean it is the gospel truth etched in stone. These are projections, so take it with a shaker of salt, not even a grain of salt, but really interesting stuff. Okay, so here's the context for this outlook. In 2030, the youngest baby boomer will be 65. So that's our good friend Joe. He hates this, but Joe, you were a boomer, and by 2030, all boomers, including Joe, unless he finds the fountain of youth, will be 65. I don't know if that's true in your state, but that's what the data says. Joe, are we going to contradict that?
Yes.
You are contradicting that? How old will you be in 2030?
Let's see. I'm 58 now. So
you'll be older.
Okay, I'll be older.
So the data holds. I knew I was trapping you.
I knew the math didn't work.
Well, what I said was the youngest. And you, sir, think you're the youngest of the boomers, and now the math has proven, Joe, that you were sadly incorrect. The youngest boomers will be 65. Poor Joe's going to be older than 65, but we'll move on. He's already curled up in a fetal position in the booth. And so what does that mean? What that means is not every boomer will retire at 65, but if the youngest is 65, there will be a massive wave of retirement. So what does that mean? That means you're going to have a huge exodus from the workforce. They are saying that it will be 60%. It will drop by 60%. The workforce will drop. That's massive. Okay? We've already got a massive work shortage due to COVID. In 2030, due to the massive retirement, we're going to see a whole lot more people leave the workforce. That's going to strain the workforce. Okay? Now, what are the fastest growing jobs? Healthcare, healthcare, healthcare. Home health, personal care aides. Again, this is tied directly to the fact that we got a bunch of aging adults. And this is going to be the most in-demand work. Technology and clean energy also projected to be big risers. Solar energy. Information security. Hello, cybersecurity, technology. All of those in the top 10 jobs, lucrative careers by 2030. This is interesting. They're projecting less CEOs because they expect to see a more segmented corporate structure. So less CEOs. Very interesting. So, do I think this is not pretty? They're saying, well, you're going to see more and more jobs eliminated by technology. Yes, but here's why I say the sky is not falling. Technology will create more jobs. And what the increase in artificial intelligence will usher in the next, let's call it 8 years, 7 to 8 years, is a desire for more human contact. The more technology comes in, the more screens the more artificial intelligence, the more we humans will crave the human contact. And that's never going to go away. So I don't buy into the fear that robots are replacing us all. Nothing to be afraid of. You keep being you. You keep doing the work you love. You adapt as you need to adapt. You learn as you need to learn. And everything is going to be fine. I promise. All right. There's some good news in the midst of a bad headline. I got to get out of here, but before I do, remember this. You matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you for joining us. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.